everybody? This is your boy Food. I keep coming at you on my way to work as usual. You know how we do it on my way to work. You don't keep me company, and I hopefully keep you guys slightly entertained. We are liable to talk about anybody and everybody, anything and everything. You know what I'm saying? You know how it goes. I know there's a lot of people live on right now, a lot of stuff going on right now. You know, it is what it is. I like to do things slightly differently. Not much differently, just slightly differently. Y'all know the sun be killing me, so I have to put on the little shades, you know what I'm saying? I keep my car to make sure that, I don't get too blind and things aren't too crazy. But yeah. There's a lot been going on in the past couple of days. First off, I tried to come on yesterday to talk about the things that was going on, but somehow YouTube wouldn't let me go live. YouTube wouldn't let me be great. It wouldn't let me talk to you guys. But it's all good. I'll talk to you guys now. Um, but there's a lot going on. There's interviews going on. There's people having opinions going on. There's people jumping on panels going on. Of course, just the regular old YouTube stuff. People going to different platforms for whatever reason they go into. Is what it is. I'm not working, got a truck. I'm not trying to, put myself too thinly because I barely have enough time to come on here and talk to you guys, so let alone going on to other platforms and things to try to talk to you guys and communicate with you. I hope this is enough when I do come on, but as it is what it is. Like I said, this is not going to be a full-time job for me. Never have been, never will be. Hey babies, how y'all doing? Welcome. But how do we get here? This come across because this morning I was listening to Deanna Irvin. I watched Kwani's videos, and I watched Olivia's videos, and I watched Les' videos. I was watching James' video before I got in the car. And one thing that struck me was Kwani's video and how she went in on Tina, the cousin of the dearly departed person. First, let me say one thing. We need to stop trying to insert ourselves into stuff that doesn't make sense and trying to spin and give out narratives that is not true. Now, I understand we may be upset. I understand that we may be pissed off and mad about certain things. But, Kwani, stop saying that someone was murdered when that wasn't the case. I don't care how you feel, sweetheart, but that young man was not murdered. If the coroners say that it was a self-inflicted wound, let me give you guys just a little bit of insight of what I do for a living and have been doing for about 15 years now. And it can be done be a forensic accounting or forensic as far as looking at clues and signs and stuff for what people do. In order for someone to determine that it was a self-inflicted wound, because like I said, I don't know what happens. I'm not following service. I'm just going like what y'all saying. But people are saying that the coroner has said that it was a self-inflicted wound. Hey baby, how y'all doing? A self-inflicted wound comes about as they have found gun residue, gunpowder was not on the young man's hands, and they may have found a burn and powder residue on his face, head, or body, some shape or form. That's how they determined that it was a self-inflicted wound. Because when you pull a trigger, there is gunpowder that actually comes out of the gun that lands on your clothes, on your sleeves, on your cuffs, on your shoulder, on whatever part of your body and where you hold the gun. And if you're in your car like I am right now, and you have a gun to your head, it's more accurate, you pull the trigger of said gun, the gunpowder will spray all across this part of your body, including your face. Also, depending on how close you have the gun to your head, to your whatever, there will be burns in that area as well. That's how they come to the conclusion of self-inflicted wound. Now, what happened with the 35 shots shot into that vehicle, was that obsessive? Yes, it was. Not even denying that. But stop saying someone was murdered. Tragically killed in police presence is what Nika said, I think she said, is a great definition. killed in police presence. That sounds much better than saying these people was murdered, or this young man was murdered by the police, because that's not true based on what the coroner said. And regardless of what independent coroners say, depends on if it was a kill shot that he had a self-inflicted wound or whatever the case may be. That's what it was. But I just want that to be put out there. Stop acting as if we know what really happened and what's really going on. Unless we are in a coroner's office in Jacksonville, Florida, we don't know. So we need to stop talking about it. Stop using words and terms that is not accurate. I'm just saying. A lot of you guys are not forensic people. A lot of you guys do not even know what forensics is, don't even know the steps of how to, you know what I'm saying, pull apart a crime or a scene in order for you to come to some type of conclusion. So please stop doing that, you guys. Stop coming on here spreading false narratives and things that you don't know anything about. Just to say that. But anyways, back to my thing. That was just my little soapbox that was pissing me off, to hearing people mislabeling things and having their own opinions regardless of what they may feel or what they may think. If the evidence doesn't show that it was a murder, if the evidence doesn't show that, regardless of how corrupt we may think that the officers are, or the police officers are, or the coroner office is, we still got to go by the findings of the evidence that they have found it, period. Anyways, so back to this, hot in here, I don't want to be that hot. Back to the thing of how do we get here. Now, Kwani was questioning, how is it that Tina comes to be here on YouTube? Does it matter? How did you come to get on YouTube, Kwani? How did I come to get on YouTube, Kwani? How did either one of us come to get on YouTube in this sector? You named that there was 1,000 different sectors out there that people can go to. You're absolutely right. Are you in the Japanese sector? Are you in the arts and crafts sector? Are you the mommy and me sector? Are you in the stripper sector, Kwani? As vigilant and vocal as you are in this sector right here, I may have watched and go to the arts sector, the food sector, the mukbang sector, all these different sectors was not, but I'm not active in those sectors. I'm just simply a subscriber in those sectors. I am a content creator over in this sector. How did I get here? By accident, like all of us did. We were looking for something, was watching for something, was not. It led us to a video. Then we liked what we saw. It came to another video, vice versa, vice versa. We started talking and communicating with people on here. That's how we get here. Now, Tina was initially on here because somebody told a lie based on her family situation. Now, she said that she was appointed by the family to speak on their behalf. So anytime someone says something about her family on here in this sector, she has the right to come on here in this sector to defend her family. Now, we all are busy in our real lives. Well, busy in our real lives. Y'all know I work a lot. I have a family to take care of. I have a household that I take care of, what's not. I have a husband that I take care of, what's not. I'm busy. But yet I still find the time to get on here and create some BS every once in a while, or some content every once in a while, or watch content on here and comment on content on here. You don't know if this is her way of relieving some pressure, relieving some anxiety, relieving some stress that she's going through in this difficult time between her and her family. Like, I'm talking to you right now on my way to work. People can multitask. People can still be preparing for funeral arrangements or homegoing arrangements and still be on here conversing with each other. Still be on here talking about what's going on. This is, and I'm not attacking you, Kwani, or attacking Kwani in any way, shape, or form, but people need to start realizing what they're saying, realizing what they're doing, realizing the narrative that they're putting out there for people to grab a hold to make content on. Calling people was a black bitch as well as not. How are people a black bitch because they choose to make the same content and connect the same dots that you're connecting? So in turn, if you're calling people black bitches or ignorant bitches was not, or ignorant nigger bitches, whatever the case may be, what are you saying about yourself? Because you're on here yelling, screaming, and ranting about something that does not pertain to you or your family. Ranting and raving and screaming and yelling about what people are doing, what people are saying on here, not about you. And think that you're justified in calling them nigger bitches and black bitches and ignorant and all the other things that you call people was not. And you keep saying all of y'all, lumping people into this category based on what you think, and think that that's what people need to go by. The same thing that you say to people when they ask you, Kwani, why are you involved? Because you can, is the same answer that I'm giving to you for Tina. Because she can. Because she's grown. Because she wants to. Because she's entertained by it. Because she has every right as you and I do to be anywhere that she wants to be. And tell her story as she see fit. Tell her story as she know it to be. And to correct whatever wrongs that she feel has been done on behalf of her family. You're talking about the legacy of this young man, Kwani. Let's talk about it. What legacy have been discussed on here about this young man that people are discrediting? What legacy has been done by this 18-year-old young man that people are discrediting? I'm confused. You're on here screaming, yelling, and ranting. You're destroying his legacy. You're destroying this young man's legacy. And I don't care, you nigger bitches. Is that building up his legacy? You don't know this person. I don't know this person. Well, it's not. But do you think that you screaming, calling people nigger bitches out of their name is something that this young man will want to do as part of his legacy? I'm just asking because I don't know this young man. I don't know the family, and like I said previously, I really don't care. He's not the first. He won't be the last young black man or black person or person of color, male or female, killed by police or killed in police presence. I'm just being very realistic about it. While it's a tragedy, the reality of the situation is he's not the first or the last. The day after he lost his life, someone else got shot in a tragic situation. It's the way of the world. People are born, people die, people get murdered, whatever. It is what it is. And I'm not trying to be callous about it, but that's the reality. The only thing that makes this, quote unquote, a story for people on here is that someone brought that story on here. And we have more in common because we heard it from somebody that's on here in this sector. So we think that we have the obligation and the right to continue to perpetuate the story, talk about the story, converse about the story. That's the only difference. Calling Tina stupid doesn't help. Calling people who's talking about what's going on nigger bitches doesn't help. I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you how to do it. But how do we get here? By our own volition. Someone could have easily called her, or she could have easily just been watching on YouTube because now she's like everybody else in this sector watching what each other is saying, watching the drama unfold, watching the silliness, watching the entertainment, watching the education that is on here, watching the commentary. If I'm not misunderstood, correct me if I'm wrong, people, did she not say she was watching and she came up there because Bless and Nika was talking about the situation? Isn't that what she said? See, that's what I'm saying. People don't listen critically. People don't respond critically. People don't think critically on here. I don't care how intelligent you are, how great your oratory skills are. But if you're not listening critically, thinking critically, and responding critically, it sounds like to me. Because I think she addressed how she came on here. I think that we all know how she arrived and derived to be in this sector. Now she's here. Just because she went through a tragedy in her life, do you think that she don't have the right to have an opinion about her family member? To address people who's talking negatively about her family member? I don't understand that. Make that make sense to me. How many people on here now as content creators and as subscribers who have been through tragedy on here? You heard Dee Ramsey say she had some tragedy in her family not too long ago, but she didn't bring it on here. But yet she still was on here every once in a while, talking and not bringing it up. You don't know what's going on in my personal life because it's none of your business. You don't know if I lost people in my family since I've been on here or not. You don't know if I lost friends of mine since I've been on here or not, because it's none of your business. This is not where I bring stuff like that in from my personal life. This is where I bring my cooking techniques. This is where I bring some sewing techniques. This is where I bring some art that I do on here. Everyone on here is on here for a different reason, for a different purpose, for a different outcome. And not everyone's outcome is the same. Not everyone's end game is the same on here. You don't know what her end game is. You don't know if she has an end game at all. Or if she's just going through the whole grieving process, trying to make sure that no disparaging remarks or comments is said to her cousin or about her cousin. What people are not talking about is the fact that when she was on the platform, and Bama was on the platform, both of Bama having a conversation with her on the platform that they were both on, Bama tried to distract and deflect and have tried to grab views for clicks, wanted her to talk on her platform for clicks and views. And this is a little bit off topic, but still within the same rambling situation I'm talking about. Rihanna played a video of mine last night, when she was live last night. And lo and behold, I hear several videos being made today, this morning, about that said thing. Why Vibe, Sean, and the people over there are trying to bring up TSCC, VS, and Rihanna. I made that video about superheroes, what, a while ago? What, 4 days ago? 5 days ago? I told you guys my ESPN 2, and my ESPN Espanol is on point. I didn't say I put that on any, I don't think any atmosphere was that, but I think that I was the first one to talk about that in that way. And now everyone else is picking up the steam of what I said, granted in their own way, but nonetheless, piggybacking on what I said several days ago. I'm just saying. And my point of making the video wasn't to try to attach, bring TSCC and VS to this situation. It was to answer the question that everyone was asking and give you guys breadcrumbs so y'all can do what y'all doing today. Talk about what's not being talked about. Discuss what's not being discussed. And pick up on the clues that I said. Still, y'all didn't hear when Demi and Tracy D said that 5 had to go back to court to re-up that restraining order. This is a good way for them to re-up that restraining order. Well, I'm saying this right here. This is a good way to re-up that restraining order by trying to drag VS and TSCC back into the fold of some bullshit that they're not a part of. Once again, my whole point was saying that they're not a part of it, and they would be silly if they would even respond to it, which they're not responding to, so I know they're not silly. Like I said, I'm paying attention to everything that goes on here. I don't always comment on it because it's none of my business. I don't really care enough, because it doesn't affect my life one way or the other. It's not bringing anything into my life, it's not making my life better by commenting on what someone else says. But at the same time, I still am a content creator. I still can make content out of what's going on here in my own way, without being malicious, without being biased. But just looking at what's out here, putting 2 and 2 together, and coming up with 4. Being able to articulate and critically think in a way that a lot of people on here do not do. I'm not inserting myself into anything that I'm talking about because, like I said, personally, I really don't care. I could be showing you guys how to make some hash browns I made for breakfast today and be okay. You know what I'm saying? I can be on here showing you how to draw a pattern and be okay. I can be on here beading and be okay. I can be on here sewing and be okay. I can be on here decorating and be okay. I can be on here cleaning and be okay. It is what it is. But yeah, back to the story here. How do we get here? We get here by accident, and by choice. It's not for anyone to question why someone here, regardless of what happened in their family. If I chose to come on here and talk about my family and what's going on every single day, that would be my choice. If someone wants to make commentary about it, and I choose to go on that platform to defend my family and my household, that would be my choice. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't understand it, no matter how much of it, how little of it we're using, we're all using the situation as if it is more than what it has to be. Making more out of it than it has to be. Going too far. Delving too deep. Unless you are going to invest in this family the way that I think Brianna has done, shut up. That goes for everybody. If you're going to invest in this family the way Brianna has done, in my opinion, or unless you're not going to do that, you don't have a voice in this. You're tired of hearing about it? Stop talking about it. You think it's too much? You think it's too far? Stop talking about it. Stop commenting on it. That's how you stop. But as long as you perpetuate the same things over and over and over again, you're going to get the same results. People inserting themselves, people thinking their opinion is the only one. Like I said, my opinion is just one person's opinion, and that's mine. It may be right, it may be wrong, it may be whatever, but it's still my opinion. This is not a read, it's not a roast, it's not a drag, it's not a gag. This is just me saying, you don't have the right to question how this person chooses to grieve. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. All I can go by is what's being put on YouTube, what is being said on YouTube. That's all I can go by. Be it right, be it wrong, be it indifferent. But no, I don't see why you call people nigger bitches squanny, because it doesn't make sense to me. Because you have a difference of opinion or a difference of how you would do something or how you think something should be done does not give you the right to call people nigger bitches. It doesn't make sense to me, sweetheart. It just doesn't. You know? People grieve in different ways. People grieve how they grieve. People handle things the way they handle things. How they handle things. And it's not up to anyone. Even the way you responded with your video, I didn't say it was wrong. I thought it was inappropriate, but it's not wrong. That's how you choose to handle things. That's how you get through whatever you're get through. That's not what I would do. That's not how I handle things. I actually like to sit down and talk to people to make sure that it's a clear understanding of what's going on. That's how I do it. But once again, everyone's not me. We need to really stop thinking that everyone's going to handle things when they handle it was not, and coming on here screaming, yelling, cussing, and fussing, giving ourselves aneurysms because we think that it is something that, you know what I'm saying, they should have done differently. Like, I think you should have done with what you done differently was not. But once again, I can acknowledge that it's your choice to do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. So, baby, how y'all doing, y'all? So, y'all, I just want to rant on a tangent. It is what it is. But yeah, it's so funny to me how people think that, you know, what they believe is the end all be all. No, it's the end all to be all for you and you only. No one is obligated to think the way you think. No one is obligated to take your advice. No one is obligated to, you're saying, see things the way you see things. Everyone has their own way of living their life in order to make it what's best for them. Period. It is what it is. No one's trying to, well, let me rephrase this. I'm not trying to live my life for someone else. I'm not trying to live my life based on what someone else thinks how I should live my life. What it is what it is. How I live it is how I live it. Point blank period. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, negotiate and be friends with and trying to appease anyone on here. Either you like what I say or you don't. Either I get cussed out or I